So don't get me wrong when I say I'm happy that they're doing this, but is it not the most Konami thing to do to announce a official simulator or an official game that you can play that will have all the cards and will be held under normal rules after, the most chaotic parts of the pandemic where there were no in-person events and no vaccine and everybody was clamoring for this, and now a year and a half later they're like, boom, Master Duel. Alright, listen, the truth is, I'm really excited about this, and if you're not living under a rock, you've probably already seen this going on today with content creators talking about Master Duel. It's been on IGN, it's been on Game Informer, it's been on tons of other websites. They held a Digital Next this morning, which was essentially Konami's version of what I would say like a Nintendo Direct. They talked about some upcoming stuff, and it's pretty cool, but I'm going to focus on Master Duel specifically in this video. To briefly touch on the other things they talked about, they did mention Cross Duel, which is a new game that's coming out for Android and iOS. It looks like it's going to be for up to 4 players. Not really sure what that's about. I think it's a niche thing, but I guess we'll get more details as they come along. They also announced the update of Arc V to Duel Links, which is fine. I don't know really how that's going to work out with pendulums, but I haven't really played Duel Links too much lately, so I can't comment on that beyond just sort of initially touching on it. And finally, they also announced that the Rush Duel game on the Switch will be coming to the US later this year. That's pretty cool, especially if they do give a physical release, because the promos for that had a Dark Magician Girl and a Pot of Greed, both exclusive to Rush Duel, but those will be high-value collector's items for sure. No, today we're going to talk about Master Duel. Now, Master Duel is announced for pretty much every platform you can think of. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, Steam, which is huge, Nintendo Switch, and mobile. So it will be cross-play, but you can get it on your computer, you can play it on your handheld device, and I would assume, this isn't confirmed, but I would assume that you can log into this on, one device and log in on another and still access the same account. But what's so cool about this is that for so long people have wanted an official simulator for Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic has one with Magic Arena, Pokemon has one that's very well done, if not a little slow in terms of the way it actually runs. Obviously, Hearthstone is online. Some of the other card games, like Legends of Runeterra, are online as well. So there's a large selection of online games. Now, playing in person is always going to be the best, in my opinion. But there's a few reasons to look at a simulator and say this is going to be a good idea. One, and most importantly, is that people who can't actually make it to in-person events for whatever reasons, whether it's their location, whether they have life things going on, being able to officially play in actual, and they did say there's going to be actual tournaments held, once this game is released and once those things are going on, so I don't know what that entails, and we'll cover it more as that information is made available. But I can't go because ABC, I have to watch my child, or I have to take care of a family member, or I have to do ABC. Now you have the opportunity where you can log on and play, and you can actually build a fully, competitive deck, which is just such a cool, refreshing thing to see them do. Where my concern lies with this, and ultimately I don't know what we're looking at yet because there's been so little information revealed, my concern lies on the fact that I don't know how they're going to make these cards accessible. Is the entire game going to be free to play with the full access to the card pool, and the money and the microtransactions will be with sleeves and customizable interfaces? If you look at the fields here, you can see that they have like monster cards and a Pot of Greed on the side you can interact with. There's this one that there's dragons on the side, and there's all these little animation effects. So maybe the game is free, but you can purchase sleeves and other things with currency, and that's how they make money off of it. More likely, though, I do think it's going to end up being such that either A, it's going to be you have to purchase in-game packs, or you get in-game currency that maybe you can grind a free amount of for a while, but you can also opt to buy them, and then you can get those packs and build the decks. I don't want it to be that way, for the record. In my opinion, the best way to do this in a way that makes them money and also gives players easy access to this would be to say everything is free, you can play, you don't have to spend money to get decks, but you want customizable fields, you want customizable interactions on the sides, you want customizable deck boxes, sleeves, etc. People will spend money on that stuff. Like, that stuff sells well in Duel Links. It's definitely something people would spend money on, and there's no reason to think that this would be any different. That also invites, so Konami gets their money, they get their microtransactions, they can make their profit, and then they also don't have to worry about players trying to chase from behind. So when you think about the fact that there's like over 10,000 cards in the game, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could do Pokemon's thing where you have a code in a pack and you redeem the code and you get a pack, but they'd have to either retroactively issue codes for the past, 200 sets that have come out up to King's Court now, or and this is the more likely scenario, would be that they would maybe just make a code that allows you to redeem it for any one in-game booster pack. Not really sure which direction they're going to go, and we've seen in past Yu-Gi-Oh games, they put a lot of the cards in there, but the booster packs are custom to the game, and they don't all structure the same way. Really what I want more than anything else is for this to be accessible so that people can actually build decks, play in tournaments, and use this sort of as a side-by-side tool with the IRL metagame. And I hope that they do that. I hope that as more information comes out, there's reasons to be optimistic with their approach to this, because I do think there is a way for them to make money and sell their microtransactions while also continuing to make the game accessible. One of the biggest problems I have with games like Hearthstone is that, like, packs are relatively costly in consideration to, like, A, how much you need to buy to actually get a deck, and B, just the RNG factor of it. And it's similar with Pokemon, although with Pokemon, you know, you can log in and get free booster packs, but it's still a mega grind. And ultimately what happens is a secondary market gets created because people will trade their cards. You can, you know, you're not supposed to, it's technically against the rules, but it does happen, and people sell Pokemon TCG Online cards all the time on eBay and other places, so that's not uncommon. And I really don't want to see a secondary market dominate for this, because I'd like it to be something that everybody has access to. So if it's up to me, and it's not, but if on the off chance somebody's watching this from Konami, please, just make it a free-to-play game, make the cards accessible, and then make it so you can buy accessories and upgrades and whatever. Option number 2, which seems a little bit more likely, could be a subscription service. So maybe you pay $10 a month to have full access to the simulator. You get the cards, you can still buy customizable stuff, but you pay a monthly subscription to actually access the game, play the content, so on and so forth. Some people aren't going to like that because it is a monthly commitment, but if you think about it versus, you know, even in Duel Links, like, if you want to play Duel Links, you have to spend money in that game. Like, you can free to play a bit, but in order to really be the best of the best, you have to spend money on the EX structure decks, you have to spend money cracking open packs. It's a really steep entry cost to get into, and I feel like playing Duel Links now, if you're a new player, it's not even worth it, because there's so much out there, and you'd have to go back and just spend money on packs and hope to save your tickets, and it's just way too much effort to put in for something like that. The fields looks awesome, by the way. I just want to point this out. Like, the animation styles look great. The interactable environment is really cool. I'm sure they'll make that customizable in some way. You've got World Legacy, World Chalice Guard Dragon on the side. Another screen grab I saw, I had Rescue Rabbit. So it's super cool that they made it this, like, in-depth sort of, it's a 4K resolution game. It's the first time they've ever done a game in 4K. It looks like it's going to run beautifully on pretty much anything. I'll probably get it on Steam, but it's going to be on Xbox as well, and depending on whether or not it's free or if you have to buy it or what they do, that will sort of influence my decisions on that as a whole. But this is such awesome news. The outlook of this to start is awesome, and you see they have, like, animation graphics when a monster is summoned. Some of them appear to be a bit more in-depth than others, where, like, Stardust Dragon had a full 3D animation, and maybe some of the cards like this are just going to show a graphic, but it's still really cool. It kind of pops and brings the card to life, and you can just see that it looks like what people have been clamoring for some time. Plus, I'm sure they will have the option to, like, turn off animations if you don't want that and you just want to play a straightforward game. People have been asking for a simulator for so long, and it looks like Konami is finally going to deliver, but the biggest thing here is going to be the execution. What will the entry cost be? Will it be something you can get into for a very low price or without spending much money and still be able to play with against anyone in the world? It's going to be OCG, TCG, everywhere. You'll be able to really, like, play and interact with people, and it's going to do so much for the game, I think, as long as it's executed properly. Now's a really good time to quickly transition to hype for YuGiOhMeta.com, which is the official site that we are launching. Goes live as of July 26th if you're watching this later. It is going to be a centralized hub for new and returning players alike, with deck profiles, articles, analysis, and everything else. And it does kind of coincide with this nicely, because if you're looking to start playing a game and you want to get a better sense of the meta, this is going to be a great resource. We've got awesome members of the community from Reddit and other Yu-Gi tubers who I've talked to, and other individuals who have contributed to this project. I'm super excited to launch it for you guys, so definitely bookmark this page, YuGiOh-Meta.com, if you haven't checked it out already, and be ready for the launch, because we've already got a bunch of deck profiles, articles, and other stuff coming, and I'm actually really excited for this project. Alright, so just to wrap up my thoughts here on Master Duel, it's definitely exciting, it's definitely something we'll continue to monitor and follow, and it's definitely one of those things that I really hope they nail. I just think there's so much potential for this. It'll be pretty hard to screw it up, as long as they don't do something like Duel Links where you have to buy every pack, and it's impossible to build a deck without spending a lot of money, because then you're really going to alienate people, and people will just continue to play the dueling book simulators and stuff. Make this such that you can make money off it, Konami, and players can enjoy it, and you grow the game, and it'll be awesome for all of us. Let me know what you guys think of Master Duel down in the comments below. I will make updates as we have them. I'm super pumped for it, and so I'm sure that, you know, more details will come out, and you'll get plenty of coverage for it everywhere. Please like and subscribe if you are not already to stay up to date with all of this, and again, I'll see you in the next video.